Everybody, welcome to a new FTCR LP. We are here for new Ghostbusters 2 for the NES. If anyone who may have seen the AVGN's video on Ghostbuster games a few years back may be slightly confused at this, after the original Ghostbusters 2 adaptation came out, they came out with this new one called New Ghostbusters 2, actually created by HAL, the makers of Kirby. Today we're joined by the same crew that joined us for Gremlins 2. We have David T. Lurker, Sexy Mexi, Stefan, and an amazing Patreon guest. The awesome Adrian is back once again to talk over a game he had no interest in. I apologize once more, my friend. But just to start with, then, anyone played this game before?
No, first time seeing play.
Dude, this game looks amazing. It's like Pokemon Red, but like I don't know. Have any of you guys heard of like that SNES game, The Firemen? It kind of looks like that, but like an 8-Vision precursor to that. This is actually super dope. I love this.
It's very similar, actually, in a few ways to Gremlins 2. Look, great production value. Game looks great. Amazing fucking soundtrack. Tight controls. I would say this is level design not as dickish as Gremlins 2 is, but it's not quite as fair. You have a finite amount of lives and continues, and if you lose all your continues, back to the start, and there are no password systems in this game.
Is multiple Slimers in line with the Ghostbusters canon? I thought Slimer was like a unique, entity.
He was, but I think just in context of the game, they were like, yeah, fucking Slime was the most well-known ghost, pretty much. Kind of like Ghostbusters. This game, actually, all the levels actually follows the plot of the movie pretty faithfully. Everything makes sense. Most of the bosses you fight, appear from the movie.
He just went right
good,
through
good.
him. He's just throwing chairs.
He's a ghost. That's how they work.
What company made this game?
HAL. Again, the creators of Kirby made this game.
Oh, nice.
Which I have, and from what I understand, you know what? The fact that you guys never played this, from what I understand, I think this may have just been released in Europe.
Oh, really?
Because I don't think America got this at all.
Right.
That would explain a lot.
They released a Ghostbusters 2 game called Ghostbusters 2. And then they released another game called New Ghostbusters 2, which is this?
It's like Doug and Disney's brand spanking new Doug.
Oh, Disney Doug sucks.
Yeah, you're right. It was never you're right. It was never released in North America due to licensing issues.
This is also, I want to say, this is the first Ghostbusters game up and I think maybe ever made where Winston is a playable character. Because in the original NES games, he's not in the Mega Drive Ghostbusters game. It's just the three white guys. And if we ignore for a second the fact that his skin is painted blue, this may be the only game where you can play as Winston.
It's his cosplay of the Blue Man Group.
He looks more greenish to me.
It's like it's his skin. His skin is the same color as their jumpsuits, which is a interesting choice for this game. But now we're in the old subway systems where the Ghostbusters are digging and they go investigate a little bit. And again, just like Gremlins 2, this score, god damn, this level track's amazing.
Hal knows how to make good music. Who'da
They
thunk
do.
it?
I mean, this could be this is like if Kirby music was funkier. This is what this soundtrack sounds like.
Oh my gosh! So this is where the minecarts come from.
Welcome to the Calico Minecart Ride. We got drills and drills.
So, like I asked in Gremlins 2, these, we're recording this the same day we record the Gremlins 2, and these are kind of companion LPs. I'm going to assume probably most people in this call have seen Ghostbusters 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am familiar with Bill Murray.
Who clearly wanted nothing to do with Ghostbusters 2, which, for more information about the movie itself, please check out the Diminishing Returns commentary me and TJ did on Ghostbusters 2, which if I was a smart man, I would have timed these to come out together, but I didn't, so fuck you.
Is this just a tie-in Let's Play? Is this all just an ad?
Oh wait. So are you and TJ going to do a commentary over this commentary that we're recording right now?
That's what we should do.
Diminishing LPs.
Holy shit, a time paradox.
Steven and I have joked about when we officially run out of ideas, we just go back and do LPs over our LPs.
Please do.
At some point, maybe at some point we'll do that.
Just do what everyone else does. Do a react video.
To our own LPs.
Yeah.
When we know exactly what's going to happen.
Remember when we almost had to like have licensing fees for like the Fine Brothers almost want us to pay that shit for stupid reaction videos. Goddamn, the internet is awful.
I love reacting to things. I get really excited.
That'll be 10 cents, my dude.
Sometimes I'm just sitting there, right? And I see someone at a stoplight, and then they turn left, and I go, "Whoa!" And
No joke. I was at work today, and on my break, we don't have like a lunchroom. We have like this kind of like vending machine things, and I saw that they had cherry coke, and I literally did a double take, took two steps back, and audibly said, "What the fuck?"
This is fair. That's a fair reaction to Cherry Coke. It's a fine soda choice.
I'm not used to our office. I'm not used to our office having cherry coke. I was very excited, but then the machines we got to pay didn't accept it, so I don't get to have my cherry coke. And I went, "What the fuck?"
I cannot think of a worse blue bowling.
Is this the ghost subway? Is this a phantom train?
Train.
So what's great? This is I think this is the scariest moment in any. Well, so it's a ghost train, but you're these kind of like disembodied heads. I think the scariest moment in any Ghostbusters in any Ghostbusters movie is the bit where they're on the ground and it's Ray, Egon, and Winston, and just a bunch of decapitated heads on sticks just appear in front. This guy. So this, while that seems easy, the trick with as soon I'm going to take a step back and explain how this game works. So you really just control at the start of the game. You pick two characters, your A button and your B button. So Bankman is my player one. I control Bankman, and Bankman is in charge of the proto beam. So when I press A, it releases the beam, and then B is the trap, and so Winston is computer controlled. Sometimes he will get lost because the AI is not perfect in this game. But essentially, you use your A button.
Oh, it's Kirby. You just
Yeah, it's fucking Kirby's a ghost. You use your A button to try to keep your ghost in the beam, and your B button to trap them. What that boss is, that Slimer on the train. If you use your beam, he'll turn around and block it with a shovel. So you have to get into position where you can just tap A and B like at the same time and trap him instantly. Otherwise, you can't defeat him. And he will start throwing things at you, which will kill you, and that's not fun.
Okay, those little guys with the wings and the spear, those guys are definitely in Super Mario Land. All of our Let's Plays are starting to cross over.
They're evil. They're evil Cupid. They're evil Cupids.
So Sweetest Day Cupids?
I say they're evil arrows.
This level, this is just Bankman's apartment complex. The whole place is fucking infested with ghosts.
That's a huge ass apartment complex.
But the rent is to die for.
Valentine's Day bummer.
You know what's crazy? If you watch Ghostbusters 2, and it's implied, in the Ghostbusters 2 takes place 5 years after Ghostbusters 1, and it's implied in that time frame, like they got sued, and they all took like crappy little jobs. Bankman is technically on TV, but I don't think he's making much money. But if you look at the apartment he lives in, I'm sure it was expensive in 1990, but Peter Bankman's apartment in today's day and age, I would assume would cost like $1 million, like $1 million a month. It's fucking huge, at the heart of New York City. That shit's expensive, bro.
I don't understand these economic situations. Dude, I shout that out anytime I see like those whole suburban like scenes in movies. Like, fuck it. No, that shit doesn't exist no more. Y'all fucking ruined it.
So the animated series, The Real Ghostbusters, which I find funny that this is the real Ghostbusters 2, or no, this is the new Ghostbusters 2,
This is
right?
the new real Ghostbusters.
Right. Anyway, no, the animated series, that's supposed to take place between 1 and 2, right?
No. So the reason why it's called The Real Ghostbusters is because in context of that cartoon show, the Ghostbuster movies are actually movies within that cartoon series.
Oh, really?
That's why it's called. So people thought it was called Real Ghostbusters because of that old TV show from the 70s,
Right.
which had like the fucking time machine and the talking gorilla. So some people thought that they called it the Real Ghostbusters to legally distinguish it and as like a knock against that show. From what I understand from the producers, it's called the Real Ghostbusters, so kids did not think the movie universe and the cartoon were the same thing.
Okay, because I know in the cartoon they continue to capture ghosts, which to me always seemed a little odd, because in the movie, in the second one, they're like, oh, we got sued because of the events of the first, and it's like, how do they continue to stay in business and continue to capture ghosts, but then nobody believes them after however many episodes? But if
I think that there's an episode in the Real Ghostbusters where like a sequel movie is being made.
okay,
So I think they referenced this movie being made in the context of the show. I haven't like it was on Netflix for. I think they just took it off Netflix at the time of this recording. I'd watched a few episodes. It was, for a kids, a movie based TV cartoon in like the late '80s, surprisingly well made.
Yeah, I've only seen a little bit of it, but I know it's fondly remembered among all those types of shows.
Great anime. I want to say the creator of Babylon 5, maybe Jay. Dude,
Michael
you know who?
Straczynski?
Yeah, dude, he was like the story editor.
Oh right, because it wasn't Filmation involved in that in some way.
It's the animation is surprisingly good as well. It's like you could tell it had a budget. That show had a budget, but yeah, he was like the lead story writer for at least the first season or two.
huh? Was he involved in Extreme Ghostbusters?
We don't speak of Extreme Ghostbusters in this house, David. Please leave.
Oh yeah, and it became Slimer in the Real Ghostbusters for the second half of the season, for the second half of the series.
Who here likes High C Ecto Cooler?
Aaron does.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with that
I
shit.
still have a can of the re-release.
Throw it
I was
out.
gonna say that's probably giving enough radiation to give you none good, definitely.
Well, like I don't plan on drinking it. I just kept the can.
David can't throw it away. It's his game of fuel.
That's right. When they finally release another Ghostbusters game,
God's sakes, man, don't drink it.
when they release a Ghostbusters game connected to Ghostbusters 3, that's when I'll drink it.
You know what? I think those ghosts with the maces, they kind of look like Panthro, like a green Panthro from Thundercats.
I just can't help but think of the Mace enemies in A Link to the Past, but this is before A Link to the Past, so yeah, that's pretty awesome.
They stole it.
And David, we did get a Ghostbusters 3, the video game,
Right, but they don't call it Ghostbusters 3.
but it might as well be.
Right.
That video game, I like to pretend that's Ghostbusters 2, because Ghostbusters 2 is not a very very good sequel. Ghostbusters 2 has some fun moments in it, but it's as a direct sequel to Ghostbusters 1, it's pretty infuriating
Right.
because it's just the same fucking movie but worse.
Well, I mean, because I
And
guess
it's all the same people involved, even creatively.
right. Because I guess we should acknowledge the fact that they recently announced that they are making a technically third Ghostbusters because it's in the same universe as the first two, as opposed to an alternate
Just
universe.
let the franchise die.
By Jason Reitman.
Son of the original director, but it's like, just let the franchise die, man. Like, no good will come of this, of them making this movie.
Well, I mean, unless it, yeah.
Nothing against Jason Reitman. I've enjoyed a lot of his movies. He's a damn fine director. I'm just kind of like with the original one, the first reboot. I just don't want a fucking Ghostbusters. I'll never Ghostbusters movie. Just let it go. Let it die. Let it die.
I'm trying to remember. Well, wait.
It's kind of the same way you feel about the new Terminator. It's like, yeah, we like Tim Miller and James Cameron, but it's just like there's been so many. You're just kind of like.
Do we like James Cameron? Do we like James Cameron at this point in time?
Alito was pretty good.
But he didn't.
Did he direct it?
Well, it was him and Rodriguez. So
Did he? Yeah, but no,
he was writer and
directed it?
producer, which means that he was pretty heavily involved in it. And he's not the director of the new Terminator, but he's heavily producer. So
I love The Enemy.
He wasn't he a producer on Genesis?
no, he wasn't. He just had that little thing where he's like, yes, I like Terminator Genesis.
He just shielded the fuck out of it. Like, fuck you, James Cameron. You have no integrity.
He got paid a couple dollars.
I mean,
at least $6.
to be fair, Terminator Genesis was a pretty good episode of the 11th Doctor, right?
It was directed by a TV director.
I don't know. I guess I don't hate Genesis as much as other people. I think because
no, it was dumb. It was slop.
Right.
It was dumb as fuck. But I wasn't bored when watching it. But it's not a good movie at all.
I really like the first 20 minutes where they like are in the 80s and then they do the different, because I had just rewatched the original Terminator before I saw Genesis, and they did a really, really good job with that bit.
Same. This section is actually Venkman's apartment. This is what this is. And
Oh
this
no,
is,
they stole the baby.
That's Sigourney Weaver, and that's Ghost Janusz. Comes and steals baby Oscar.
Oh, that's rude.
Hey Janusz, where's that accent from? Where you from?
Huh.
The Upper West Side.
Oh.
It's a good joke. I like it. Please join us in part 2, or don't. Bye.